Hello everyone, my name is Connor Clapton and welcome to my channel. Although this channel's been around for a while, but it's changing direction. Before I get into that, we need to go back to the beginning. I'll tell you who I am, where I come from, my journey so far, and why we are at the place that we are at today. So with that, back to the beginning. I'm a chef, have been since I was 18. I'm now 39. Really enjoy it. But on the side, I've always loved photography, right? And one day, about 7 or 8 years ago, I was like, I want to actually buy a camera. I want the tactile feeling of using a camera as opposed to snapping photos on my phone, right? So I bought a Fujifilm X-T3. And with that, I just did landscape photography and it was great. It got me out in nature and I just walked for miles and miles, taking terrible pictures because you've got to suck before you get good at something. And that is when I sucked. I did that for a while. And then, you know, life happened, things changed, and I ended up putting the camera down. For some reason or another, I sold it. And I didn't really sort of touch a camera again for about 2 years. And then one day I was like, I want a camera again. I want a camera again. And I ended up buying a LUMIX S9 after that hiatus. I bought the S9 because I wanted to get into videography more than photography. And it was great. The video specs that camera still has. I mean, you could probably pick one up now for like 400 or 500 quid, maybe even less. And I still think if anyone was starting out, I'd probably encourage them to get that camera if they didn't have like a massive budget. So I wanted to get into videography. I bought that camera and I started shooting videos of other people in the gym, online coaches, bodybuilders. That was like my niche at the time. And then because of where I am, I decided that I couldn't niche down too much because I'd be sort of shooting myself in the foot because Cornwall's not a big place. So I started branching out, hospitality, construction, like anywhere I could really. I didn't really turn anything down. I was freelancing for about 18 months. And because I didn't turn anything down, there was a lot of stuff that I had no real emotional connection to. I think I was starting to get bored because of that. I was starting to get burnt out. And I just kind of lost a bit of passion for it. And then eventually, because work had gone so quiet, I had to consider going back into a kitchen, which is something I was adamant that I didn't want to do. So it was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. And because of that, I then affiliated like the videography business and the money problems and going back into kitchens. I kind of married them together and it kind of put me off even picking up a camera again for about 6 months. It came to a point where I was like, I've got to do something. And Zoe, my partner, bless her, she was like, you've got to get back behind the camera because you don't want to be chefing forever. We all know that. And I was like, yeah, the thought of picking it back up and doing videography again, I just didn't want to do it. Like, it just wasn't there. I just lost all passion for it. And then one day when I was at work, there was a guy outside with his wife and his kid, and he had a small camera, like almost on his back with a leather camera strap. I walked past him and it was a Leica. I don't know whether it was a Q3 or an M3, I'm not sure which one it was. And I just seen him like sort of whip this thing over his shoulder, click, and I saw the image almost on the screen and I was like, wow, that was that easy to make that look that good. And and then I was thinking about all the times where I had this big, this camera with all this rig on it and, you know, the microphone and the handles and the battery packs, and I was like, he just did that. And it almost reminded me of why I picked the camera up in the first place, right at the very beginning for photography. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. I genuinely couldn't. And pretty much that week, I ended up trading in, I knew I wanted a smaller camera. And I looked at the Leica and instantly saw the price and went, not just yet, maybe one day. But what can I get that's similar? And naturally I gravitated towards LUMIX because I knew the system, I knew it well, I knew the menu like the back of my hand. So I was like, I wonder if they do a small camera. And the S9 had not long been released. And what a game changer that camera has been. I traded in the S5 there and then. The S9 came a couple of days later. And that was probably the best decision I've ever made in regards to purchasing a camera. It changed everything. It changed how I shoot. It's changed my relationship with cameras and how I see the world around me. It's completely reignited all my creativity. I have used it professionally and in my personal life almost every day for the last 18 months, I would say. It's been on holidays with me. It's the most versatile thing. Like, it's never more than an arm's reach away from me, ever. I've bought a little leather camera strap for it. It's got a short stash everyday polarizer on it, and I've almost recreated what I saw on that guy that day, and it goes everywhere with me, every single day. You know, if you're looking at buying a camera, you have to consider the LUMIX S9. It is that simple, because for me, it's been a complete game changer. And if it broke tomorrow, I'd just buy another one. I create my own LUTs, I load them into the camera, I get beautiful looking JPEGs. I rarely have to open Lightroom now unless I want to actually like make a new LUT or preset for it. I can then customize, make my own looks, in that I can sort of blend two LUTs together and change the opacity and drop the highlights, you know, decrease the contrast, you know, change the white balance. It's so fun. It is so fun. Like everywhere I go, I went to the coffee shop this morning, took it with me. I shot some woman doing pottery yesterday, took it with me. Like it just goes everywhere. It's on my passenger seat, like in the car, for every journey. It is absolutely amazing. Back to today. Why is this channel here? Well, I had a great chat with a fellow LUMIX creator, Ross, and his JPEGs. Search for him on YouTube. Go find his channel. It's incredible. He's definitely taught me a lot about the S9 and how to use it. I told him the same story I just told you, and he was like, "Bro, you've got to put that on a video as soon as possible." So here we are. That is why we're here. So what's this channel going to be? This channel is going to be moving away from the videography completely, and just basically all about my passion for photography, colour. So we're going to be filming like photo walks, doing collaborations with other LUMIX creators. I'll be dropping new LUTs and new looks on here, and yeah, just sort of building a community really. And you know, anyone that wants to join is more than welcome. Go follow me on Instagram, connor.clapton. All of my work is on there. Give me a follow. Come back, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.